My name is Chachi. I'm the drummer of Pop Evil.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I think it's been a little while since we've caught up. So fill me in what's been going on. The Torn to Pieces video just dropped.
Yeah, it's been a really exciting year for us. Riding our third single right now, which is Torn to Pieces, off of our release Onyx. And the video was shot in mainly in Kingston, Ontario, in Canada, at a family member's house, not of mine, but it's obviously it's a really, really emotional song, you know. And we talked a little bit earlier. I talked with some friends about, people ask me like what the theorem is for writing like a hit song, and I was like, I don't think there's a formula you can use like mathematical. I just think that honesty sells. At least I want to believe it does. And when a band writes a true, honest song, it shows through. And Torn to Pieces is definitely one of those things where it's not a hypothetical situational song. It's something that everyone's experienced, including Lee, including myself. Everyone's lost somebody. So it's an important song to us and to the band and to each of us individually.
Absolutely. Are you ever surprised by what songs fans gravitate towards more?
Absolutely. I know that in the past we've made, I guess, a mistake of, or you let fans vote, and sometimes when you let your own fans pick their favorite songs, it's different than what people who aren't already a fan of the band would choose. And I don't know what causes that or how that happens, but it's really interesting. Sometimes you hear a song you finish the record. Like when we had Trenches done, it was pretty much a unanimous decision that we were like, Trenches is the single. That's what we want to go with, and that panned out. Everyone worked, but it was another honest song. We believed in it. We'd been grinding for so long, and it was something that we really strongly had an emotional tie to. And after that, we were like, man, what's the next single? And manager was like, let's deal with the devil. And I was like, how do you just know? And he was right. It was, and we're running that again. Torn was another. We felt obvious because it was an honest song, and we didn't release it to be like, we got to get number one. It was more like, this is something that's really important that we have to say to get off our chest. It's to pay homage to those we've lost. But the fourth single, if we're so lucky to have one, I have absolutely no idea what song it'll be.
I think the album is so solid. I feel like almost any song could be chosen as a single. That's why I always had to wonder like how difficult that process was to pick it.
It's definitely challenging, and that's a good problem to have. So thank you very much. But we felt there were a couple of standouts on a solid record, and now we're getting to that point where like it's like a total just shoot up in smoke of what the next single will be, and everyone seems to know, but no one seems to be agreeing. Like management's like, this is the single, and Lee's like, this is the single, and I'm like, this is the single, and Nick's, this is the single. So and really, I think all of us believe this album is strong enough that if we are lucky enough to get a fourth single, I'm not gonna be mad about any of them. That's just great to have a fourth song.
Yeah, damn it, we don't want a fourth.
I'm ready to be done. Let's just call it retire. But I'm just happy to be making music and playing drums every night. That's what matters.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys are so close to your fan base, too, and so personable. I always see you guys out there talking to fans and everything. Do you have a memorable experience that stands out in your head?
Oh, man. I have a lot that I think I feel like are so special and just unique to me. And maybe they're not. I don't know. But there's been times where fans surprise us with gifts that, like, you would have to really know me, like, I feel like they have to know me personally to know that I'd be into what they bring me. Not like just like a bottle of vodka. Like and it's something that you bring it for anybody, But I've had kids. My right arm is completely done in cartoons and video games, all my favorites. And on my upper bicep, I have a Pokemon. And this little girl who was like 12 crocheted me a 3-dimensional like Pokeball. And I was like, that's so odd. Like, first of all, for her to notice that, like, analyze what it was from, however, I don't know if she saw it while I was playing or a photo or what, and then like to have the skill to make it, and then she got it to me at the show, and that's probably one of the biggest like really cool things. Like I love when young people, especially like teenagers, come out and that happens. Like there's a connection, and anytime you hear somebody tell you that like you've inspired them to change their life for the better is pretty amazing. I had a girl in Asbury Park tell me that she told me how I inspire her to get back in shape, and she lost like 60 pounds, and if she ever has a son, she wants him to be just like me. And I was like, I don't even know what to say to that. Like that's ridiculous. I don't think she really wants that. She doesn't know what I do all the time. So, but that's just such an honor, for people it puts you, they hold you in such a high regard, and that means a lot.
So, I mean, you were like an animal on that drum kit. Like, absolutely. The energy is infectious. It carries out to the crowd. How do you prepare for it? Like, what goes through your head? Like,
I don't know. It's much more difficult for me to like hold it in during the day. I feel like that's like my 1 hour of green light where you can just kind of let it out of the cage and I can do whatever I want, say whatever I want to myself and behave however I want. And, I don't have to be a gentleman or, worry about who I'm offending. It's like my time to just do what I want to do. And I don't even think of it necessarily as performing for people. Sometimes I just feel like I'm like no one's watching me. Like I just want to let everything out for an hour. Physically, people ask me how I do that stuff, and I'm a huge supporter of CrossFit. Like I talk about that a lot. That's the only way I feel like that I can stay in shape to do that kind of job. There's days where my body definitely gets tired, but
I'm watching you. I'm exhausted. Like, I mean, it's a good exhausted, but it's like, oh my god.
It's fun. It's fun. I have a great job. I enjoy it, and there's nothing that I should never forget that. On days where it's hard, you really got to sit yourself down and be like, hey, at the end of the day, it's a job, and you're really lucky to do what you do. So.
I'm always curious too from like a band's perspective on stage, and you're looking out on the crowd. It's like before we used to see a sea of lighters and everything, and now it's like a sea of cell phones. How is it?
Screens. It's different, but it's technology, and now they have like the app where they hold the screen, but it's like the open flame, so it's like kind of the best of both worlds, I guess.
A fake Zippo.
Yeah, exactly. No one gets lit on fire, which is kind of lame, but no, just to have support. I don't care if it's a lighter, a cell phone, if it's a flashlight, like anyone that's at the show already, that means the world. And then if you're making the extra effort to, whether it be clap your hands or jump up and down or put your lighters up, that really goes a long way. I know that for the fans, they're seeing us one night, and so they can, I don't want to say take it for granted, but it's only what they make of it. But for us, we're doing that every night. So there's nights where we need to be inspired by the fans, and I don't think they realize that. They're like, you guys inspire us when you're on stage. And I'm like, when you're doing this 300 days a year, there's a solid 50 days where we're looking for the fans to inspire us, and they do that, and I'm very grateful for that.
That's beautiful. It is. And you guys, are you still doing the Escape the Fate tour? Or is that wrapped up?
Yep, I think we're really close to halfway or a little over halfway through that. So that's been a good time, and it's a great bill. Not even just Escape the Fate, but Avatar and Glamour of the Kill, stellar bands. It's probably one of the most sound 4-package tours I've ever done with somebody without having like a massive band. Obviously things like Trespass America have more than 4 great bands, but a lot of people are like, we want to come see you guys, but who are the openers? Are the openers good? And I'm like, always support the openers when you can, but these bands are like you will regret missing Glamour of the Kill or Avatar.
Sometimes never know too, like where they're going to become or how it's.
Metallica started somewhere.
Absolutely. What are the plans for the rest of the summer when that wraps up?
Summer, we're doing some more headlining shows and festivals, which is awesome. I love it. I love doing stuff like this, meeting other bands, seeing old faces and friends. I love being a fan and just watching outdoor concerts. In the fall, we just signed on to a pretty massive tour that we cannot announce yet.
Damn.
Sorry, yeah, I know. It's a bummer. But it's worth the wait, I promise. Keep it posted to our Facebook and Twitter, and we'll definitely be talking about it. I want to say we're going to announce it shortly after today. Today's such a big event, everyone kind of holds the floodgates, and then after today you get to let more stuff out, so it's exciting for a lot of reasons.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me. I appreciate it. Any comments to fans?
We love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being our inspiration, and I hope we get to see you at a show soon.